In the heart of the untouched wilderness, where the canopy of ancient forest stretches toward the sky and the songs of unseen birds echo through the dense air, there exists a tradition so daring, so deeply connected to the human spirit, that it blurs the line between fear and fearlessness. This is the art of climbing the tallest and most dangerous trees to harvest the golden nectar of life, honey. It is not a task for the faint-hearted, nor is it something learned overnight. It is a skill forged through generations, passed from father to son, from elder to youth, a knowledge rooted in survival, courage, and trust in the natural world. Imagine standing at the base of a tree that rises like a giant pillar, its trunk stretching upward for what feels like eternity, its branches swaying gently in the wind far above the ground. To most, the sight alone would trigger trembling knees and a racing heart. The fear of heights, one of the most common fears among humans, would paralyze any ordinary person. But for those who have inherited this tradition, climbing such trees is as natural as walking, as necessary as breathing. Their bodies are trained, their minds are steady, and their hearts beat with determination rather than dread. The journey begins not with climbing, but with preparation. Before a single step is taken toward the towering giants, the honey harvesters gather in silence, sharpening their handmade tools, weaving ropes from natural fibers, and preparing the torches that will be used to drive away the furious guardians of the treasure, wild bees. These bees are not ordinary, they are aggressive, defending their hive with unyielding ferocity. Each sting burns like fire, and too many can be fatal. Yet, despite the danger, the harvesters do not hesitate. To them, honey is more than food. It is medicine, energy, and tradition. It binds them to their ancestors, who once survived by seeking sweetness in a world often filled with hardship. The elders often tell stories of how honey gave strength to hunters after long chases, how it healed wounds and revived spirits, and how it symbolized the connection between man and nature. As the sun begins its slow descent, painting the sky with hues of orange and crimson, the chosen climber approaches the base of the tree. His bare feet grip the rough bark with practiced ease, his hands clutching a rope that he will loop around the trunk to support his ascent. The crowd watches in awe, children holding their breath, mothers whispering prayers, and fellow hunters standing ready to assist if needed. Slowly, steadily, he begins to climb. Each movement is deliberate, each muscle engaged. The air grows thinner as he rises, the ground shrinking below until it becomes a blur. To an outsider, this climb would seem impossible. The tree offers little room for error. One misstep, one slip, and the fall would mean certain death. Yet the climber does not falter. His mind is focused, his breathing steady, his eyes fixed on the hive that gleams like a golden lantern high above. The closer he gets, the louder the buzzing becomes. It is not the gentle hum of a backyard beehive but a deafening roar, thousands of wings beating in unison, warning him to stay away. But he does not. Instead, he lights the torch strapped to his waist, sending a trail of smoke upward. The bees swarm, attacking in a frenzy, but the smoke confuses them, driving them back just enough for him to continue. His skin is stung repeatedly, welts rising on his arms, his neck, even his face, but he does not retreat. Pain is a part of the process, and he accepts it as his ancestors did. Finally, he reaches the hive, a massive structure hanging from a branch, heavy with golden honeycombs glistening in the fading light. With careful hands, he begins to cut the comb, placing it into a container secured to his back. Every movement must be precise, for one wrong slice could destroy the comb or anger the bees beyond control. The ground far below is silent, the onlookers frozen as they watch the climber balance between life and death. He is no longer just a man, he is a bridge between worlds, between the earth and the sky, between danger and survival. The descent is no less perilous than the climb. With the weight of the honey pulling him down and the bees still circling in fury, he must remain steady. Step by step, he makes his way down, the rope tightening against his chest, the bark scraping his skin, his body drenched in sweat and smoke. And when his feet finally touch the ground, the silence breaks into joyous cheers. The honey is safe. The tradition has been honored. The climber is a hero, not because he defied fear, but because he embraced it and moved through it. That night, the village gathers around the fire, sharing the honey that tastes sweeter than anything found in markets or stores. Its flavor carries the essence of the wildflowers high in the canopy, the warmth of the sun, and the courage of the climber who risked everything to bring it back. Children dip their fingers into the golden nectar, elders smile with pride, and the story of the climb becomes another thread in the tapestry of their culture. For them, honey is not simply food. It is memory, courage, and proof that human beings, when in harmony with nature, can achieve the impossible. But this tradition is not just a story of bravery. It is a lesson in connection. In modern times, where machines and technology dominate, few remember what it feels like to place trust in one's own body, to rely on skill rather than gadgets, to face nature not as a conqueror but as a participant. These climbers teach us that fear is not an enemy but a guide. To climb without fear of heights does not mean the absence of fear, it means respecting it, controlling it, and moving forward despite it. The human spirit is capable of far more than we often believe, and nowhere is this more evident than in the act of scaling dangerous tall trees for honey. In distant regions of Asia and Africa, similar traditions still thrive. In Nepal, honey hunters scale cliffs thousands of feet high with little more than ropes and bamboo ladders, their bodies dangling in the open air as they harvest hallucinogenic honey from giant bees. In Africa, tribes follow the honey guide bird, which leads them to hives hidden deep in the forest. In each case, the common thread is courage and respect, for the bees, for the trees, and for the delicate balance of life that provides sweetness even in the harshest conditions. The future of these traditions is uncertain. Deforestation, climate change, and modernization threaten the forests, the bees, and the knowledge that has been passed down for centuries. If the forests disappear, so too will the honey hunters, their skills forgotten, their bravery unrecorded. And yet, as long as one climber ascends a tree, torch in hand, heart steady against the swarm of bees and the dizzying height, the tradition will live on. It is not just about honey. It is about being human, about testing the limits of body and spirit, about finding sweetness in struggle, and about remembering that sometimes the greatest treasures lie where only the bravest dare to go. And so, in the golden glow of honey,